Parenting skills for the real world. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about some cognitive behavior techniques that I utilize every day from both myself and students that I work with. And I also teach it to the parents because you're here because you're stressed out or frustrated or whatever behavior it is that you're feeling. So it actually will seem incredibly simple, which a lot of the things that we discuss in the course, you're gonna look at me or hear me and think, oh, this is just too simple. This is just sounds kind of silly. But you're here, you've got the lecture in front of you. What damage will it do to at least give it a try? I assure you, they have all been utilized. They're just not made up. So this is a picture of a flamingo, and I like it. And it makes me smile when I see it. So it's a redirection picture for me. I go to a website called unsplash.com. At the end of the lecture, the website will be posted as well. And they have free pictures that you can utilize, in any way, form, or fashion. Photographers just want to get their name out, and they're beautiful, beautiful pictures. And I enjoy looking at them. It's the way that I meditate. I am not the best meditator. I have a very active mind, and it's difficult for me to quiet that mind, especially if I am in a loop where you are ruminating, which is where you're just thinking about something negative. It could be something negative that's actually happened, or something negative that you're imagining may happen. You could imagine that you're going to have a confrontation with somebody tomorrow because you're going to be late for work because of a situation, and you're going to call and say, hey, I'm running late because of traffic, and they're going to give me crap about it, and I'm going to have my excuse, and they're not going to believe me, and how dare they not believe me, and you just kind of go in this cycle, and it really actually can trigger a lot of hormonal chemicals in your body that are the stress hormones that are doing damage every time they're coming into your system, because they have nowhere to go, and they are really, really taking a profound effect on you. And when you're constantly stressed out, that also affects the decisions you make as a parent. So that's why it goes very hand in hand with parenting skills. So at the end of many of the lectures, I will prompt you to take some time, take a walk. You find what it is that you like to do. I like to go on a hike. I like to listen to music with earbuds in. I like to dance around with earbuds in when no one's watching. And I like to look at these pictures. Most of the things that I like to do are things that I spend time by myself when I need a redirection. And as a parent, you're probably going, great, that's the one thing I don't get a lot of time in. But we will discuss that, and that is going to be something that you need to set up a schedule and give yourself some time for you. Okay, so I'm just showing you pictures that I like. When I look at the picture and I decide if I want to put it in my little Unsplash collection, it's just, do I like it or do I not like it? Yes or no? Put it in the collection or not? I just like this picture. It's nothing artistic or profound or intellectual about why I like this picture. I just like it. It's the same as why I like the color purple. I love this picture. It's very, very beautiful to me. And again, there's no justification about the geometry or that it's tied to the historic art period of such and such, hoity-toity, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's just something that I like, because one of the things that we're going to discuss is setting boundaries and being comfortable with your yes and your no's. You're going to think about why you say yes and why you say no, but when you do it, it's okay that people don't understand, like, or agree with your yes or no to things. Some of you may be looking at this picture and absolutely hate it, and that's okay. You have the right to hate it, and I have the right to love it. I'm totally fine with that. I don't take it personally. For whatever reason. Maybe you had an apartment with a floor like this that was just really horrible when you hadn't had any coffee. I don't know you. It's okay. This is just a picture. I don't have to live with it every day, so there could be a million reasons. But I like it. It's soothing to me. When I look at it and just kind of zone out, it kind of changes where I focus. I kind of look at the center where the white circle is, And then all of a sudden, a star comes out just outside of the circle that's surrounded by the light blue tiles, and then the light blue kind of radiates all over the place. So I find it interesting. Again, nothing intellectual. I'm not drinking coffee at a snooty coffee house, feeling superior than everybody else, talking about art and all sorts of things. I'm not trying to be like that at all. It's just something that I find interesting. I like it. It's pretty. It just has some really cool contrast, and I like looking at it. And when you look at the picture, stop, take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You're giving your brain extra oxygen because, again, you're trying to redirect. Don't force it, just kind of be looking at the rows that the umbrellas are making, and then each individual umbrella and the pretty colors off to the right here that are reflecting. And again, I have my DLW Behavior Consulting. That's a watermark in all the videos that you'll see, but that is not in any way trying to claim any copyright to these photos. They're all on Unsplash. I like this picture. I think it's really cool. It's kind of like a herringbone, but it's just tires. And it's kind of cool that someone just looked at a bunch of tires and was able to take a picture of them. That was interesting. I'm probably not going to frame it and put it in my house or anything, but I like looking at it. It's really interesting. It's very neat. I do wonder if they maybe, set up the bottom row and made it look like that. Kind of hoping they didn't stack that many tires for this one photograph unless it was for some sort of tire company. I don't know. I just like it. I enjoy it. This one's really cute. You probably saw it on my website. For the parenting course, little starfish floating around. And it's zoomed in pretty high, so you can kind of see a lot of the stuff, microscopic organisms floating around in the water. Ooh. Not really sure what's down below the starfish, but we're just not going to talk about that and pretend like that's not there when we're swimming in the ocean. I do like this. This is very pretty. So, is it distracting to you that I did not enlarge the photo to cover the entire screen? Does the white off to the side kind of make it difficult for you to focus on the photo, or do you like the contrast there? But I definitely like, on a cool night, having a fire going, especially if I didn't have to build the fire. Not very good at it. So I tend to use a lot of the liquid igniter fluid, probably too much, but it's not one of my expertise. But I do like looking at a fire at night, just chilling, warming your feet by the fire and relaxing. If it doesn't do anything for you, you can just move on. Just a beautiful field of flowers. Just kind of imagine, taking some time. Nice sunny day, not too hot, nice and relaxing. I like it. It's just very pretty. This one's really interesting to me, kind of overstimulating, so I would not always look at it if I was feeling upset, because it might make me feel a little bit more frustrated by looking at this. But I do kind of like looking for the uniqueness within all the locks. There's a really cool heart-shaped one kind of towards the middle, and then you go a little bit upper right from the middle. There's a really pretty purple one in the top left corner that I really like. Purple is my favorite color. And I believe this is a picture of a place in France where people will put locks on a fence that is for their love, and I think it's really cute because that's kind of an interesting thing I find really, really adorable. So, and you can kind of look closely and you can see initials and dates and kind of fun stuff like that. Some people, it looks like they even carved it themselves or really, really did some extensive stuff, while other people just wrote with a Sharpie, to each their own, and it's a lot of fun. It's very, very nice. I like this photo. This is super cool. I have no idea how they came up with this photo. I know my daughter's a photographer and she does a lot of stuff, and it has to do with the shutter speed and just like if you took pictures of like the stars when the stars move. And I find this really, really cool, but I am not the best photographer and I have no interest in learning anything about photography. So I just enjoy looking at it. It's very cool. I find this really interesting. You may notice that I like mosaics. It's my favorite form of art. I like it. It's very durable. It's something that you can handle a little bit more than a lot of other arts without worrying about breaking stuff, because I'm kind of a klutz. If I'm wearing white, I'm definitely going to be wearing red icy, and I haven't had a red icy in a very long time since I tend to spill it. So I don't know how it even happens, but that's who I am. And I do like making mosaics. I haven't made one in a while, but it is something that just looking at mosaics is something that I enjoy. I find this fish very beautiful. Many years ago, I was a scuba instructor, so I would get to see these every day when I'd go into the office. Beautiful fish, so colorful. Kind of reminds me of a flamenco dancer. So I find it very pretty to look at. And this particular one, it could maybe be a little sad, like a scene in a serial killer movie or an episode of Supernatural. But one of the things I like about it is the reflection at the bottom, that, just kind of going forward. I like seeing that. I find that really, really pretty. So, but again, I can see it both ways. Totally understand that it looks very creepy, but I do enjoy looking at it. Again, this is just something that's really cool to kind of spiral around and look at, and take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. So you can go to unsplash.com, and if the photos that you just saw that you were interested in aren't on there, then the photographer must have taken them down. But every single photo that you just saw was a photo that I got on the website Unsplash. You're able to create a login and a password and create your own collections. You can even look me up, and most of the photos that you'll see will be in some of my collections. But that's just one form of redirection. Visual redirection can be very helpful. Smell is another one. I like to use peppermint oil mixed with sunflower oil when I'm not feeling very good. Kind of, mix it together, put it on my hands, put it on my neck, and just kind of smell deep in. Make sure you're using real essential oils. You can go for a walk. You can, yourself and find something that you like to do. One of the most important things about it, though, is finding something you can do that's not dependent on somebody else. So, because then you can wind up feeling very frustrated because you need to do this particular thing and you're waiting for somebody else. So it's just something you can kind of do quickly and easily. And if you notice, many people actually kind of do this with Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And I feel like this could be a much more positive way to redirect your brain and take your mind off of things.